welcome to the ABBA radio show. And in this episode, His Royal Highness Prince Adam bin Al-Walid, your wonderful host, is going to talk about social conditioning, okay? And I'm also going to mention sociopathic narcissism in relation to that, okay? Now, everyone is basically socially conditioned to believe that all of life and its wonderful intricacies are basically we're victims to everything and we are slaves and that's what we are. Okay, that's from my opinion, from my perspective. Everybody else who isn't awakened yet thinks that we're all supposed to do a certain thing and that life is just this way and that's it. Okay, it's only one way and that's it. You're supposed to chase money and you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that. Nope. You see, people don't realize. Okay, I've done podcasts on manifestation, okay? So that's not new news, okay? And there's tons of people doing that, doing podcasts and videos and stuff on manifestation, okay? And there's people out here, like myself, who are one of the 144,000 chosen ones, okay? And among all of the 144,000 chosen ones, there are only a handful, between 10 and 12 leaders, okay? Somebody has to lead the chosen ones, okay, into the new world. You see? That's what we are working on. The governments are all kind of doing their own shadow work, okay, trying to burn down this existence so they can bring in new world order, okay? And what new order, none of you guys have even thought about looking up the agendas that are inside of New World Order. New World Order is going to whittle down the population, okay? They want to kill a bunch of us off, okay? So they have a smaller amount of people to control. This is all about power and control, people, all right? It's all about power and control. The problem is that if you do not allow your government to control you, then they can't. You have to change your mindset from within, okay? You have to do your own shadow work, okay? You have to have the mindset, not that I'm better than the government and that I'm infallible. No, that's egotistical. First, you need to drop the ego. Wherever you go, ego. Think about that, okay? So it's kind of like the Yugo saying, you know, the little junky ass car that was out there in the 80s. It was made in Yugoslavia. So wherever you go, it goes. You see, that was their thing, the American translation. Okay, so wherever you go, ego. You see, so you got to drop the ego. The ego is no good. It is no good. Okay? The ego is full of fear. Okay? And what do you have to fear? Nah, nothing other than fear itself. And I don't even fear that. Okay? Because I'm not afraid of fear. I'm not afraid of fear. Okay? I'm not afraid of anyone. I'm not afraid of anything. Okay? Literally. And you have to have courage to face your fears if you have any. You see? And this is the whole mindset thing. Okay, I'm a chosen one. I have the marking on my back. I can show you the pictures of the crown-shaped birthmark on my back. I can blow it up and show you that it looks kind of like the ones on the back of a Checkers. Okay, I've compared the tattoo. Well, it's not a tattoo, but it looks like a tattoo, but it's a birthmark. It kind of looks like that. I'm just saying, the way it was put on my body at birth, it kind of has this tattoo-like look to it. It's kind of weird. So that's why I called it that, because it looked like that. When I looked in the mirror, I went, did somebody put that on me? Did I sleep through that or something? What? And then I realized it was a birthmark. Okay? And this is what I'm talking about. Now, you guys don't understand. Okay? Nobody understands what I've experienced. Okay? Now, I'm going to leave a link to a couple of my blog posts talking about my life, okay, and some of the experiences or excerpts and highlights from my experiences in life, okay, and my perspectives. I'm going to write all about this, okay, in several blog posts, okay, and I'm going to talk about it in my podcasts. I am very infrequent about my podcast because of the fact that I want to make sure that when I put out a podcast, it's going to mean something. Okay, I'm not just randomly picking a subject and just going to make a podcast about it. No, that's not how it works. Okay, I put out a podcast in regards to meaningful subjects, things that will help people. Now, I want to talk about the ego for a second, okay, because it is relevant to the social conditioning subject that we are talking about today. All right. The ego, all right, believes that you have to fear everything and that you have to chase everything, that everything is external, okay, that everything that you want, you have to go and work for, or you have to slave yourself. Okay. The ego believes that you have to be rich financially to be successful. And that is not true. What people forget about and don't pay attention to is the fact that there are everyday successes that you are accomplishing every single day. They might be small, and that they go unnoticed because it's routine, but they're still success, okay? And every single day, you successfully live. Do you understand that? That's the first level, okay? There are levels to this stuff. You understand? There are levels to everything, all right? And you are energy, so you can wake up every day. And energy needs a source of other energy to keep it going. Okay, we are light energy. All right? I'll get into that in another podcast at some point. Light energy. And I will describe the floating tip pyramid, okay, and the auras and the color codes and all that, okay? And there are levels to everything and frequencies. There are frequencies to this stuff, people. All right? We are ionized biological energy sources, okay? That's what we are. Ionized biological energy sources, okay? We are light energy. Okay, so we manifest everything on automatic pilot, okay? And your thoughts and your feelings, regardless of whether or not you're a sociopathic narcissist or a psychopath, there seems to be a lot of that going around these days because of the way that the family system has broken down. Latchkey kids, okay, I won't get into that very much, but the latchkey kids and the single mom lifestyle has produced a lot of sociopathic narcissism, okay? Because the sociopathic narcissists, the reason why they exist now is because the sociopath as a child was neglected and therefore abused because they were left alone and they were forced into feeling responsible for everything that they had to do in life, okay? They had to come home from school. They had to unlock the door. They had to clean the house. They had to make themselves something to eat. And they had to teach themselves. That doesn't mean they're strong. No. It means that that's routine. That's what they had to do to survive. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here right now. Okay? And it's not strength. Don't misconstrue that as strength. It is weakness. Okay? Because the situation they were thrust into. All right? The parents didn't give them love. They felt neglected. Okay? They felt neglected. Okay? They were neglected. They were abused even when the parent came home. The parent would be, frustrated and be yelled at by their boss, and then they bring that anger and everything else and emotional crap home, that baggage home, okay, and they would take it out on their children. Oh, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. They're chastising them, okay? And that's what generates, some of that generates the foundation for sociopathic narcissism and psychopathy, okay? That's the baseline of that. And you don't think I know psychology, by the way. I should take the doctoral exam on psychology and pass it, okay? I probably could pass it and become a psychologist, all right? So believe me, in my experiences, I could probably take the exam without even an inch of schooling, not even a little bit, and pass it, okay? So what does that make me? A genius. All right, then. So I will just take the test and take a practice test and see if I pass it. Just out of curiosity, I should do that. But anyway, the social conditioning, okay, for sociopathic narcissism is a psychological issue, okay? Social conditioning has a lot of facets because there are different types of social conditioning, okay? Yet there are blanket social conditionings, okay? And most of them, like I mentioned, are that you must be part of the system. You must do this, and you have to do this. No, I do not. I have freedom. Even if I live in a monarchy, I have free will. They cannot take away free will. Try as they may, they still cannot do it. Because in the end, how are they going to stop you? What are they, the thought police? Yes, I know they have the thought police now. They're trying to prevent crimes from even happening. Okay, and they cannot do that. Because in order for that to happen, humans have to become predictable. And criminals are predictable, by the way, because of their thinking patterns and their frequencies and their idealisms that you have to have, a bunch of stuff to feel like you are wealthy and that you are secure. And that is absolutely a fallacy. Okay? Materialism means nothing. Okay? If you cannot help people, then that materialism is worthless. Okay? If you're just helping yourself, what does that mean? You are a selfish, greedy, gluttonous human being. Okay? And that is your mindset. You put a fence around your wealth. Okay? And that is part of your social conditioning. How did you get socially conditioned? Well, your parents, they must have been wealthy, and they handed down their ideals to you. As a child, you were a sponge, okay? It's like Johnny Five, okay? I need input. I need input, okay? That's what children are like. I need input. They need input. They need knowledge. They need experience. They need wisdom, okay? And there are not enough wise human beings out here, okay? So how are we teaching our children anything, okay? Going back to the sociopathic narcissism platform and creation platform. Basically, we are a society at this very moment, okay? The social conditioning that you must work in order to perpetuate the slave system, okay? In order to have a place to live, you have to have an income. You see, and then it's a revolving door, okay? The landlords and the taxation systems, okay, are all part of your enslavement. And I had somebody once tell me, what does a job do? Well, a job keeps you just over broke. That's what job actually means. Now, I'm going to ask some of you, no matter what your percentage is, remember, percentages are a variable. They are not a definitive number, okay? So that means that you could be making $5,000 a month, and you, after bills and everything, all you're going to be kept at, you might even have $500 left over after everything is paid, taxes and all. And that's for your food and necessities. I wasn't even talking about food and necessities. You have to have a budget so that when you run out of food, you can go get more. You see? So it's your buying power. You need to budget your money, okay? Most people will get their money and spend all of it in one go, okay? Paying all their bills, paying for everything, and buying, useless crap that they really don't need, instead of creating a budget at $30 a week for food, for instance, or $50 a week for food per person. Whatever the budget may be, $100. Let's say that food costs $100 a week here in California, for instance. $100 a week per person, and you say you have 4 people living in your house, okay? 3 of which, 2 of which are children. I'm just going to say this on the average. 2 people are not generating an income, so you have to support them. All right, they're your children and your offspring. So you have your wife or your significant other, in this case, all working together, both of you working 2 jobs each, okay? How many jobs does it take to survive? Okay, 4 jobs? Oh, well, what does that mean? That means that they are taking more and more and more and more and more of your money, okay? They are actually keeping, the more money you make, the more money they take, all right? Law of averages and percentages, okay? And you are subject to that, okay? And when you get down to the politics of this whole thing, the Republican Party it used to be, and is no longer, it used to be the anti-slave party, okay? And now it is become the enslavement party, who is opposed to abortion. Why? Because they want to enslave everybody, and they want you to generate more slaves, you see? So actually, they are they've transformed from anti-slavery to slavery over the years. And a lot of people haven't even noticed that. Okay, and that's part of the social conditioning through the system. Okay, they compartmentalize all of their system. Okay, so that the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. The left hand could be jerking off while the right hand is flipping somebody off. I mean, for the reference, that's pretty much what's going on here. Okay, I'm not trying to be vulgar. I'm just giving you a very explicit way to imagine things, okay? So that it sticks in your mind, okay? That's why I did this, okay? So I want you guys to understand that this social conditioning, okay, that you must work and you must be part of the system. No, you don't. Wake up! Wake up! Wake up to what's going on around you and who is around you. Weak people have lots of friends, okay? Weak people have lots of friends and people around them because it's kind of like coyotes. Think about it. Coyotes are only strong when they are in a giant crowd of them or a bunch of them, right? In a whole group of them, all right? They are only strong in their numbers. But when you single them out, they're weak and afraid because you are actually more scary than you can imagine, okay, as a human being in their perception, okay? Because what you can do to them and what humanity has already done to them in the past. So they have a memory in DNA. Animals are afraid of us. The wild ones are afraid of us. And that's why they have these reactions to humans and humanity taking away their environment, and their homes are becoming smaller and smaller, okay? And it's all part of the social conditioning thing. Now watch. All right? Nature reacts like that, okay? So, in effect, okay, most weak human beings like sociopathic narcissists, psychopaths, and general humanity, okay, it's a learned behavior. It's psychology, my dear friends, okay? It is psychology, all right? So what happens here is you single one of them out, all right? You get them alone. They will run away from you. They are afraid of you. But when they get to their little group, okay, of human beings, they can dance around and make fun of you and do all this stuff, right? Because they're in a large group and they feel invincible in their group. That's weakness. That is, they're showing you exactly how weak they are because of their hanging out in a group. I am strong because I am a singular, all right? Because I'm not afraid. I am the group all within myself. I am the group mentality and safety in numbers. I am the numbers. I am strong like that because I don't need large numbers to feel strong. I am strong. I am, therefore I am. Do you understand that mindset? Okay? It comes from doing the internal work. If you vocalize that I am, and anything you say after I am, that's what you become. That's what you manifest into your reality, because your mind generates your reality. You have to understand how energy flows. Okay, I've mentioned this in a couple of posts and podcasts and such, and some of you have acknowledged that you've heard my podcasts. So, here's the deal. Now, Nikola Tesla, okay, I'm a fan. Now, when he referred to the numbers 3, 6, and 9, that I apologize. I have post-nasal drip and it parches my throat. I have a very runny nose and it's running down my throat. So yeah, I'm trying to get better. So it's not working very well. Basically, now, people are, that the 369, the 3, 6, and 9, okay, refers to, the 3 is the frequency at which energy begins its cycle. The 6 refers to the energy at the mid-cycle, okay? And the 9 refers to the energy expansion frequency at the end of the cycle, at the positive pole. All forms of energy, including water, obeying gravity as well, will adhere to this expansion theory, okay? And yes, I'm very intelligent. I would say that all energy expands out as it goes through the cycles between the poles in the path of least resistance. Everything has a flow dynamic, okay? Everything, including light. Light energy has to obey the 3, the 6, and the 9 cycle expansion path or frequency, okay? And each one of them, okay, each of these energy sources are integrated, all right? Light energy contains other life forms like electricity. Light is electricity, all right? That's why solar panels are so important, okay? So, it's like electricity is also all forms of energy are life forms, understand? They are just forms of energy, okay? And they're also a form of life, all right? Now, you think all forms of life, they're just inanimate objects. No, they're not. Everything is a life source, okay? And a light source, okay? Everything, when you see electricity doing its expansion, okay, between the poles and the path of least resistance, you will see a flash of light because electricity contains light. It is light, okay? And light is electricity. And water can fuel and contain electricity. It's a battery, okay? Water is a battery, and that's what Benjamin Franklin discovered, and discovered that you have to have a certain salination or desalination in the water. It's a perfect mixture of elements to contain the proper frequency. And if you add this or subtract this, then it changes the whole balance of the whole thing. You change one thing and everything changes. It's just like the one in that TV series. I will have to make a reference to that. Anyway, there are a lot of variables in this, okay? And your social conditioning, okay? Your social conditioning is controlled by your government. And what a lot of people don't realize is that, I'll give you an example of social conditioning. They covered up the fact that the Akashic record is actually where all forms of life and all things emanate from, energy-wise. It is the source of energy, okay? So when people refer to the source, it is not God, okay? God is a perception, Allah, God, whatever you want to call it, the universe, whatever you call it, it is the same. It is the Akashic record. The Akashic record records everything, is omnipresent, okay? It is everywhere. It is invisible, okay? It is always there. It's recording everything. It sees everything, hears everything, okay? Every stone simultaneously, because again, time is not linear. Okay? Everybody wants to perceive time as linear, but it's not. Okay? So that is an incorrect perception. It's all occurring simultaneously. Why? Because the Akashic record is evidence of that. Okay? It's all happening simultaneously. And all events, all possible infinite events are occurring simultaneously. Okay? Yet we are socially conditioned to believe that time is linear and that there's a future and a past and that there's a God. Okay? Yeah, I've discovered differently. So what you may call God is actually the Akashic record. And yes, I might be offending a few people, but when you compare the two, the Akashic record versus what you know, the basics of what you know about God, okay? God is omnipresent, records and sees everything, right? Okay. Well, there's another name for that. It's called the Akashic record. The Akashic record is God, all right? The Akashic record is God, Allah. Yet your social conditioning, you are perceived to believe that there is another source, that there is some infinite source, okay, which is actually the Akashic record. This other source is some celestial being, okay, that is all powerful and controlling, okay? So I know another entity that wants you to believe that, okay? It's called your local government, okay? Whether you live in a monarchy or you live in an oligarchy, it doesn't matter, okay? Or a corporation that is an oligarchist. I don't care what you live in. No matter what country you live in and what your formal beliefs are, okay? The Akashic record is your God, okay? That is an undeniable fact when you compare the basic descriptions of both side by side, okay? God sees all, knows all. The Akashic record sees all, knows all. Okay, simple as that. Compare the two, they're side by side. Do it yourself. You will see the truth. And I'm speaking the truth. So, you are socially conditioned by your governments and by your parents and once you're conditioned to believe these things, it changes your perceptions of life. And that means that you are part of the system, okay? You are being brainwashed into being a slave. That is the converting process, the perverted converting process to converting a person into a slave, a copper top, okay? And they want to control you, okay? But the more they try to control, the less they're going to be able to control. You see, it's the Chinese finger trap, all right? It is the Chinese finger trap. So the more they try to lock your fingers in there, the less all you got to do is come together to get out of it. You see, it is the Chinese finger trap. It is the wisdom behind the Chinese finger trap. To get out of your enslavement, we must come together. Okay? We must unify under one cause. And what is it going to take for all of humanity in the world to unify and go up against the G20 and go up against the World Health Organizations and Big Pharma and all of these organizations and corporations who believe that money can buy control? It's not so. Because if that were the case, they would legally need to own every single human being in existence, which they do not technically, okay, we are not born into a slave situation, as most people want you to believe. They do not realize that they are, everyone is born a clean slate. They are innocent and clean when they are born. They have no wisdom, no knowledge, and the only thing that they've retained is from their prior existence. Okay? Everyone contains knowledge, hidden knowledge in their minds, okay, from their prior existence. It's a matter of fact, okay, that somewhere energy cannot be created nor destroyed, okay? It can be transformed. Why do you think there are such thing as energy transformers, okay? And so this is a concept, all right, that's going to make, it's very infallible, actually, because the information is there for you to reference if you look it up. And you have to ask the right questions, okay? Once you're awakened, you will realize that the government has brainwashed you to believe that God is this omnipotent being, okay, that controls you, okay? And it's a method of religiously controlling you, okay? Religion is a measure, a separated measure that the government subcontracts somebody else to go out there and control your thinking. You thought the thought police were out there? Oh, religion is the first level of the thought police. Understand that. And when it comes to faith, faith is knowledge that you will have everything you desire in due time. Okay? In divine timing. All right? Divine timing has to do with when the universe thinks, when the Akashic Record, I'm going to call it the universe, Akashic Record, same difference. The Akashic Record and you are in harmony, okay? It's like vocal harmony. When you are resonating your frequency in exact harmony and aligning with your, whatever your desire is, that's when you shall receive it, okay? And so it is up to you. It is the basics of manifestation, okay? So if you want to be wealthy, stop chasing wealth and allow everything to come to you. It's kind of like, let me describe the difference. It's like the difference between going out and going shopping or staying home and ordering everything on an app and having it shipped to you. Okay? I will give you that reference because manifesting is like having everything ordered on an app and having it shipped to you. And whenever the shipping company can get it to you, that's when you'll receive it. Okay? So you are socially conditioned to go out and go shopping. You are socially conditioned to believe that everything that you need is at some store. Okay? And that you must go out there physically and go shopping when actually you can order it on an app and stay home and have it shipped to you. That's the manifestation reference. Okay? So the social conditioning of humanity, okay, is so rampant, and they're losing control because the more they ramp up their desire, the governments across all the G20s and the Committee of 300 and all the elites, all the world leaders, okay, all of them, they want more control and they want it's kind of like the shepherd, okay? The reference to the shepherd. They believe that everybody is a sheep, okay? And that they're going to whittle down the flock, okay? And you know what I say to that? What the flock are you thinking you can do to any of us? Ha 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 ha. What the flock? Okay? And no, I didn't cuss. So, we are not a flock of sheep, and we are not a flock of seagulls. Okay? We are not stupid. Humanity is supposed to be the top-notch, most intelligent being on this planet, the top of the food chain. So why is it that we have so many dilapidated subhuman being quality beings that are so here right now? Okay? Why are they so present? Well, okay. I'm not going to make a religious reference to this, okay? It is not at all religious. Yet most of you would understand better if I were to put this in a religious context. Because then you would say, oh yeah, the devil versus God, blah, 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 whatever. No, it is not the devil and there is no God, okay? Like I said, time is not linear. So there is only good and bad decisions. Do you understand that? There is only positive and negative energy to that reference. So it takes negative energy to make a positive result. You have to understand the flow of energy. All right. So when a narcissist comes against me, for instance, and lies to me and berates me and puts me down, I'm sucking up that energy like a sponge saying, please give me more. Come on. You're making me stronger. Come on. Keep going. Keep helping me be stronger. You're actually the negative energy. Okay. And I'm going to turn it and transmute it in the cycle 3, 6, 9. I'm going to take your 3 and I'm going to turn it into a 9. I'm going to transmute that energy in the cycle. 3, 6, 9, baby. Oh, yeah. I'm going to make your negative energy into a positive result. So bring it on, baby. Keep freaking with me. Keep trying to attack me. The more you attack me, all right, the more you laugh, the more you try to talk shit, guess what? The more I'm going to get stronger. And I'm going to be able to go up to you at some point before your death as you're laying there suffering in the streets after the nuclear blast. And you're still, gasping for air. And I'm going to tell you, while you can still listen, I want to thank you, sociopathic narcissists. I want to thank you for making me so strong because you are the 3 that made me the 9. Yes, without you, I can't be successful. You made me the strength. You helped make me stronger against you. The more you come against me, the more resistant I become of you. You see? It's kind of like the antivirus, right? Well, it's kind of like that theory, okay? The more you can infect me the first time, but then my immune system comes on and it builds an autoimmune response, okay? It generates a antibody, okay? And that antibody becomes the antivirus, okay? And what doesn't kill you will make you stronger, you see? So all the attacks that I get, I'm actually getting happier and happier and happier because all these attacks, it's not like, that's why you're so angry. Because I'm taking this energy, you're 3, and I'm turning it into a 9. So my social conditioning is different than yours, okay? I have dumped the ego. I have dumped the fear. I have transmuted the energy. Okay? I have transmuted this energy into cycles of 3, 6, 9. Okay? I have taken your 3 and I've turned it into a 9. All right? And every time you come against me, yes, you can get me, you can form your weapons, but they will not prosper. You see? Because in the end, you can get me once, but you'll never get me again. Now I'm immune to you. You see? I have diplomatic immunity. I have sovereign level diplomatic immunity status. It's verifiable at any level. You can make a phone call to the Saudi embassy, and yes, I'm not on the list of princes. That is so. Yet, I am by default, because my DNA matches my father's. Okay? My DNA has been referenced in CODIS and a bunch of other places. Okay? CODIS being the international database, okay, for DNA references, CODIS. All right? I am in CODIS, and so is my father. Okay? We were matched in CODIS. All right? Over 25 times. Understand this. All right? So, Prince Al-Walid bin Talal and I match. We are an absolute verifiable match. And because my father has sovereign level diplomatic immunity when he comes to the United States, and so do my sisters, I also, by default, have the same. Because the way the law, that's an actual law, because how the sovereign diplomatic immunity status law actually is written. Okay? The sons and daughters of a diplomat always have the same level of diplomatic immunity status as the original. Okay? You can look that up. So I actually do have it. Okay? I lost my diplomatic immunity card. Okay? I lost it. And somewhere along the way, I lost it. I don't have it. I did have it. I had a piece of paper that said I had diplomatic immunity status and that my card was coming. I do not have that anymore. So now I have to go back and go and start the process again. That's a little bit of a financial difficulty at this moment. Yet it won't be for very long, because all things that have a beginning thus must have an end. And everything that must have an end thus must have a new beginning. Okay? Einstein's theories were right on the money. Okay? So I've mentioned all these things in reference to your social conditioning. Okay? And in the end, we are all socially conditioned. Okay, by our parents and by the system to believe and act and vocalize and become a slave for the system. Okay? That's called slave training. It's hive mindsets. Okay? Sociopathic narcissists and psychopaths. Okay? Killers. They all have this hive mindset. Like Borg. Okay? Star Trek had a Borg creature in their references. And guess what they were referencing, okay, nonchalantly when they created these characters? Gene Roddenberry and his creators, okay, were actually referencing psychopaths and the sociopathic narcissist and the unawakened ones, okay? All the people that are slaves to the system are basically a combination of Borg and the people sleeping in the Matrix in their little pods, okay? If you were to take the Borg and put them inside the pods in the Matrix, that's what humanity is becoming very quickly, okay? So there is no future, okay? There is no future and there is no past. It's all happening simultaneously, okay? So we are socially conditioned to believe that time is linear, that there is a past, a present, and a future. And there is not so. Everything that you have to start referencing the opposite of what you're conditioned to believe. Because the opposite of everything scientifically is also applicable and true. Okay? Now, some of you don't understand what I'm talking about and think I'm crazy. Hey, that is your opinion. And as you know, opinions are worthless without knowledge and experience and wisdom. Opinions are just opinions. They are empty and hollow. And they mean nothing without knowledge and proof that stands resolute behind it. You see? It is just an opinion. It means nothing. Okay? It is a low-level attack that means nothing. Okay? I am fearless because I know who I am and what I am, and no matter what somebody's opinion of me is, okay, that is their opinion. It is not fact. Opinions are not fact, just like ordinances are not law. Understand? Opinions are not fact. They are just opinions, okay? Just like an ordinance or a statute is not law, okay? An opinion is an opinion. An ordinance is an ordinance. A statute is a statute. It is not law. You see, it is not fact, okay? So, that being the reference and fact here, that is an actual truth, okay? And I have a video on my TikTok and my Prince Abba 2024, okay, on YouTube. Prince ABA 2024 on YouTube. I want you to go there and scroll through my videos, okay? And you will see a video that has Condoleezza Rice. It's kind of blurry, okay, because it was taken with an old cell phone, and it was at Purdue University, okay, and it was she was speaking in front of a law class, and I think it was in the early millennium, okay, in the early 2000s, okay, and I was able to get this video because somebody sent it to me. They literally sent it to me, and I was like, oh, this is juicy, and I've held on to it, and I have moved it forward throughout my life, because knowledge is power, all right? When you are knowledgeable and you know your rights, okay? When you know your rights and your responsibilities, which you are supposed to know anyway, as an American citizen or a Saudi citizen or an Indian, a citizen of India or Bangladesh or wherever you are, you're supposed to know the laws, the ordinances, the statutes, and you're supposed to know your rights and your responsibilities thereof. That is your duty as a citizen of that country. You have to understand that. It is your absolute sworn duty to know that. And that's why lawyers have such a prominent fixture in our system, because everybody doesn't know anything, okay? They're empty-headed people that are zombies walking around, okay, barely even knowledgeable, and the only thing they can do is do their biological routines, okay, and they can walk to the store, walk back, and use a cell phone, okay? They're zombies, all right? We have built a world of distraction and zombieism, okay? So knowledge is not rampant in all of this, okay? And even your job training is still brainwashing because it's enslavement, okay? Job training does not knowledge. It is slave training. You have to understand that, all right? Slave training is knowledge to a degree, yet, I mean, It is, you know it. It is routine. It is the fixture of information that makes you do the same thing over and over again and perpetuating the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result or the same result. Okay? However you want to see it. It is the same result or the different result. Some people say it differently. Okay? So either way, all right, it is the definition of insanity. Okay? Regardless. When you do the same thing over and over again and you expect to get wealthy doing it, that is the definition of insanity. Because why? The government gives you a J.O.B, which stands for just over broke. They keep you just over broke. Doesn't matter how much money you make. You could be a billionaire, and it just means you have $10,000 left over after bills. Okay? You might be a billionaire, but now you only have $10,000 this month to buy food for everything. And when you're at that level, everything costs way more. And then your taxes are higher. The government takes way more money from you. Why do you think they want Republicans to be in office? So they can get their tax breaks, so they can stop paying all the money. Okay? For this 4 years, we're not going to pay this amount of money. We will get our $10,000 a month back. We will get this back. And then for this 4 years, we're going to have to pay $20,000 in taxes. Okay? I'm giving you just a random number off the top of my head, but you get the point. Okay? So they're going to leave you just over broke. No matter what level you're at, if you are a slave into the system, a registered birth certificate having slave, owned corporate slave, then you are conditioned as a slave to the system. How do you break out of that? Well, I will do another podcast about breaking out of the system. And I will do a video on that on my YouTube. Prince Abba 2024. Okay? Go to my YouTube. Prince ABA 2024. All right? YouTube. And you can go to my page and you can look at all the videos I posted. I'm downloading all my videos from multiple accounts that I have on TikTok, and I'm going to put them all on YouTube so everybody can see them. And that's going to become my new TikTok. Ha ha ha. So, Lemonade is not really a good platform. Okay. It's not exactly Instagram meets TikTok, because at least at TikTok, you can upload bigger videos than 30 seconds. They have a size limit or a time limit in Lemonade that only allows you to put up 30-second videos. Exactly 30 seconds. So you cannot put up a 36-minute video or second video. You can't put up a 31-second video. It has to be exactly 30 seconds. And that's as far as it gets. And because they have small little incy-dincy servers, okay? So when they decide to bring their TikTok servers, shut them down, and reintegrate them into the Lemonade servers, then we can expand upon that. But that's another podcast. And I want to thank you all for joining me in this wonderful, wonderful scenario. Okay, so to another podcast, I want to thank you for joining me and listening to this podcast, and for listening to the ABBA radio show and the ABBA video show on YouTube. Please subscribe to both, and please join His Royal Highness on other applications. I am not on anything owned by Meta or Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, none on any of that. and I am not on X. I used to be, not anymore. So, until the next podcast, I bid you adieu.